Yes, Hare Krishna Arav. Good to see that you have also joined today's class. It's a very important class we're starting. Nisha, your hand is raised. Yeah, I know what you
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna Arav. Arav joined the second meet also because first 10 minutes goes with chanting and this meet is very small. So a lot of teaching happens in the second meeting, Arav. So don't fail to join the second meet. And I stop exactly at 11. So be with us till 11. Yes, Misha?
The group that my mommy said that they are not connected.
I didn't hear you. What did you say, Misha?
Ma'am, in the group, my mommy said they are not connected.
Oh, okay. They're not getting connected, no? Okay. Okay, I hope they will be able to join later. Right, I saw that now. Thank you, Misha, for letting me know. It's good that you will inform me when you're not coming. That's nice. It's a nice etiquette. Okay, so today we have started with chanting, and then I wanted all of you to choose one or learn all the 4 bead shlokas. I had shared it in the group for you, and whenever you have finished learning even one, I want you to raise your hand and tell me, ma'am, I have learned this shloka. Please, I want to recite it in the class. Okay, so I would like to hear you when you have learned it. Take interest in learning because these are very transcendental shlokas. Okay, they're transcendental means they're very spiritual. Okay, Vihan and Shaurya, so good to see that you're able to join today. And Niranjan sir has also joined us today. Wonderful. Thanks for joining. I feel very happy to have the company of devotees, and it makes me feel very good that I'm able to share whatever we are reading in the Gita with all of you. So these are the bead shlokas, children. Verse numbers 10 of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 8, 9, 10, 11. These 4 verses, I want you all to try and learn. And whenever you have learned it, you can share it in the chat and you can say, close your eyes and say so that you can show me that you have learned it. Okay. So the first one that I want you to learn is, these are shlokas which are spoken by Krishna. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. I am the spiritual, the source of all the worlds. Mattah sarvam pravartate. Everything comes from me. Emanates means comes. Iti matva. Thinking like this, bhajante mam, all the time who worship me. That means anybody who worships Krishna. Buddha bhava samanvita. What is Buddha bhava? With great attention, with a lot of feeling. If you are able to think about the source of all of us, which is Krishna, then what Krishna will give you, he will tell you in the next verses. He says how he will give you knowledge also. Okay. Then he says, mat chitta mat gata prana bodhayantah parasparam. So the mat chitta, thinking of me, mat gata prana, as you can see, it is you give your whole life to Krishna. Whatever you do, you offer it. Krishna, the Lord of the universe, I'm offering this to you. Okay, that kind of emotion. Bodhayantah parasparam. See, like how we are doing now. I'm talking and you can also talk. So we are going to talk to each other about the greatness of Krishna. So that is also, Krishna appreciates that. Kathayantascha mam nityam. We are continuously talking also about Krishna. We don't like to talk about other things because now we know that Krishna is the supreme controller. And such a person, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha, means he is enlightening each other by talking. And we are also Ramanti. We are so happy when we talk about Krishna. We enjoy. Okay. Those are great devotees. So here in these 2 verses, Krishna is saying what kind of a person is devoted to me. Then he says, what will I give? Right? In 10.10 and 10.11, Krishna says that if a person becomes a pure devotee of him, what will Krishna give us? So Krishna says that Tesham means to those people, Satata Yuktanam Bhajatam Preeti Purvakam. The person who will bhajatam, constantly praying and so happily, preeti, with full of love, if you are able to serve Krishna, Dadami, I will give. What will Krishna give you? If you become a devotee of Krishna, what will Krishna give you? Buddhi yogam tam. He will give us the understanding. Buddhi yoga means he will give us the intelligence and the understanding. Yena mam upayanti te. By which you can come to me. You can go to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you constantly devote your mind, your actions, everything to him. This is what Krishna will give you. He will give you intelligence. Okay, let's look at the next one. Vihan and Shaurya, pay attention. Now, let's look at the last beach shloka. Here, Krishna says, what else does he give them? Tesham evanukampartham aham jnanajam tamah. What does Krishna do for them? He will show mercy. Krishna will show a lot of love and compassion, and he will be in our hearts like a shining lamp. Nashayamyatma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. You can see the tune which I have sung in the Gita group, Sunday Gita group, and you can try and practice these shlokas. So here Krishna says, those people who are constantly able to think of Krishna and offer everything to him without anything for myself, just offer everything to him. What will Krishna do? He will dwell in our hearts like a shining lamp. He will remove all the darkness and he will give us knowledge. Okay. Now, let us quickly go through the different life and deeds of Lord Krishna we have been reading. Up to 5th year, I wanted to quickly revise. We have finished 19 chapters. Some of you have been absent for many of those in-between classes. Some of you have been very regular, like Anushka, Nisha, and Ritika, Arav. You have been almost, there for almost all the classes. So you will remember all these stories. We have finished up to chapter 19. First, we studied in chapter 1 how Lord Brahma, the goddess Earth in the shape of a cow, she goes to Lord Brahma and she cries about how much of atrocities, means bad things, are being done by the asuras on the earth, and so there's burden of sin which she can't bear anymore. And then Brahma, you can see in this picture, along with Shiva, you can see Shiva at the back, all the different demigods. You can see the cow there, that is Bhumi Devi. They all go and approach Vishnu, and then they are praying to Vishnu, please save us, do something about it. And then Krishna or Vishnu will promise that I am going to come on the earth. Don't worry, I will come on the earth as the son of Vasudeva. And I'm going to, and when I'm coming, I want all the different devas and all the different pious people to be also born on the earth so you can support me in my mission. What is Krishna's mission? Is to save the devotees, to give them his companionship and give them a lot of enjoyment by being with them as ordinary human beings, and to kill all those who are demonic or asuric. In chapter 2, we saw how Lord Brahma, he is taking the goddess Earth to Vaikuntha. So chapter 2 is a wedding of Vasudeva and Devaki. Okay, I think the chapter name I have forgotten to change. Is a marriage. Chapter 2 is the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki. And what happens at the marriage? You remember we had done this. Even Vihan and Shaurya will know, because you have been seeing a lot of Krishna stories, no? Cartoons you have been seeing, so you will also be knowing. Yeah. So I know you will be knowing that how Vasudeva was taking Devaki. He was taking her in, Kamsa was driving the chariot, and Kamsa is actually the cousin of Devaki, and he was driving the chariot when suddenly the loud sound came that it's son of Devaki is going to kill you. And then he see how he's holding the hair of Devaki, and he's saying that I am going to kill you so that there'll be no children and there'll be nobody to kill me. And then Vasudeva, her husband, he pleads, no, please don't. He tries to say philosophy and all that, but Kamsa is not listening. Finally, when he promises, I will give all my children to you. You can kill them if you want or do what you want. Then he agrees. And then in chapter 3, we saw that when Vasudeva and Devaki get the first child, who is Kirtiman, they give the child to Kamsa. Kamsa initially says, it's okay, I won't kill the child. But then what happens? Narada will advise Kamsa, no, you should kill, you don't know. All over Vishnu's devotees and devas and all, they're being born on the earth to support. So you better be careful. Why does he do that? There's a reason for that. He knows that these are actually, the sons of Maruts who are born to Devaki. And they were born because they were supposed to just be born due to a curse. And it's better if they will die and go back, right? So it was actually good. That's how comes that God, that's how what appears to us as bad, actually everything has a purpose which we don't know. I hope you're following me, children. I hope you're able to understand. Am I going too fast? Actually, I'm only revising the story, so I thought I can go a little fast. Can you all understand? Can you give me a thumbs up? Yeah, Ritika is giving me a thumbs up. Vihan is also giving me a thumbs up. All right, good. Nisha also. All right. Anushka is here. Where is Arav? All right, fine. So in chapter 4, we see that the seventh baby of Devaki actually is Balaram. He is the incarnation of Ananta Sarpa, who's also an extension of Krishna. So not difference. I remember once Rehan was saying there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. That's true because actually Balaram, which is serpent Ananta, is just an extension of Krishna himself. And what happens is miraculously Maya Devi, she transfers this baby Balaram from Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb by illusion, by Maya. And everybody thought that, oh, Devaki had an abortion. That means the child was not born, the child died. So they don't know that actually the baby is transferred to Rohini's womb. Okay, womb means stomach, where the baby grows. As per Lord Vishnu's instruction, after that, Maya Devi will enter the womb of Yashoda. Okay, and Yashoda is there in Gokul. And what happens? Same time, the Lord Himself is entering Devaki's womb. So that is Krishna has now entered Devaki's womb as the eighth child, and the Devi has entered Yashoda's womb. All right. Now, what happens is it is understood that Krishna has been transferred. Krishna is not born like a normal baby. It just gets transferred from the mind of Vasudeva to Devaki. And then Krishna is there in the womb of Devaki, and she is glowing and bright because there's Krishna in her womb. And what happens? The gods are all aware that Krishna is now in Devaki's womb, so they will all come and they will all offer prayers. She is there inside like a prison. She is sitting there, and then she knows that the god is in her womb, and all the gods come. The supreme personality of Godhead Krishna is in her womb, and you can see Shiva, Brahma, all of them come. In Bhagavatam, they're very beautiful prayers which they offer.
There are all the gods, all of the gods, all.
Yeah, you can see all the different
Worlds, all God.
Yes, they all come to pray because they know that the supreme Lord of the universe, Krishna, is inside Devaki's womb. So they all come and they are offering their prayers and their mind, they are offering to Krishna. They come there and then they offer their prayers. Then what happens? It is now time for Krishna to be born. So how is Krishna born? It's very amazing, not like a normal child. When Krishna was born, initially he was with 4 hands. He had a conch shell, a club, a disc, and a lotus flower. He had Srivatsa mark on his chest. He was wearing, the jeweled Kaustubha stone. He was wearing the yellow silk, which was dazzling. And he was like a bright blackish cloud with a bedecked helmet with the Vaidurya stone. So many bracelets, earrings, and ornaments. And he was looking like 1,000 suns, so bright and beautiful. Yes, Vihan, Shaurya, who is raising the hand, who has a doubt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
how did Krishna got blue color?
Krishna is blue color. That's his color. Now, how he got the color? That is the color in which he appeared. Okay.
My father told that the Krishna got blue color because he was roaming around and suddenly a snake bited him.
Oh.
Nothing happened, but his color changed.
Oh, I don't know about that story. There are many stories which are there around. So this story I have not heard. Okay, it's a new story for me also. So whenever the Lord comes, as a human being, he should have a mother and a father. The Lord actually is never born. He's there forever, right? Krishna has always been there. He will always be there. Just as our souls also are always there. So the Lord, when he comes as a human being on the earth, he chooses a father and mother who are very righteous. So initially, he was born as a son of Krishna and Sutapa. Then he came to be born as a son of Aditi and Kashyapa. That was when he is called Upendra, and later he is called Vamana Deva. Okay, and now the same two parents, Devaki and Vasudeva, the third time the same parents are born as Vasudeva and Devaki, and he is born to them. He chose them because they are very virtuous. Now so then Krishna says that now you have seen my original form, and I am going to tell you what you should do, and then I'll go back and become an infant. And then what does the instruction he gives Vasudeva? He says that Vasudeva and Devaki are very scared. Oh God, please, you should, Kamsa is going to come and he is going to kill you also. But they are not aware that no one can kill Krishna. He is God. But still they are afraid because they know how ferocious Kamsa is. And then Krishna says, don't worry. What you should do is, as soon as I'm born, as soon as I become the baby, you have to take me to Gokul, and there Yashoda's daughter is there. Actually, that is Maya Devi is born as Yashoda's daughter. You bring that daughter here and you place me as if it is Yashoda's son. So that is how Vasudeva, you can see in this chapter, Vasudeva will carry Krishna, who is the eighth son, to Gokul. And just as Krishna had instructed him, he is carrying, the gates are opening, the prison locks are opening, the guards are sleeping, it's raining heavily. The serpent Ananta appears from nowhere and protects father and son. And then there's a huge river, Kalandi, full of a storm, but suddenly, to his surprise, the waters will part and he walks comfortably across the Kalandi or the Yamuna river, and on the other side he will quietly place the baby. There also everybody is fast asleep because like magic. And then he takes the baby girl and he puts baby Krishna beside Yashoda, and he comes back. And then what happens? Kamsa comes, Arey, the eighth child of Devaki is a girl, and then still he thinks, still I must kill her because whatever it is, the eighth child is supposed to kill me, so I'm going to kill her. And then he holds the baby's leg and he tries to smash her. Suddenly she comes into the sky and she says that the Krishna is already born somewhere else. And then she still forgives him. He says, you still touched my feet although you were trying to kill me, so I'm forgiving you. And suddenly Kamsa feels very regretful. Oh no, what am I doing? Afraid of my own death, I'm killing my sister's children, and he's regretful. But then he goes back to his palace, and all his ministers, they will try to advise him, no, you are very powerful and you can definitely overcome this tragedy. You can kill, we will all help you to find Krishna and kill him. And he agrees and listens to all his ministers. That is the problem when you have bad company. Okay, so then in chapter 8, 9 and 10 we heard about how the ministers gave evil counsel to Kamsa. And at Gokul, people are so happy. Wow, Yashoda got a baby boy, and there's so much of celebration. And the first Asura to come is Putana. She comes as if she's a beautiful lady and she's feeding baby Krishna. But then Krishna knows that this is a Rakshasi who's put poison on her breast to kill me. And so Putana's story is the first killing of, a demoness, which Krishna does. He will suck her blood out of her breast and suck her life out of her breast, and then she will be pleading, please save me, and I'm sorry. And she asks for forgiveness. And but because Krishna was she appeared as a mother for some time, Krishna gives her moksha. So although she came to
What is
kill,
moksha?
moksha means you achieve where you don't have to come back for another birth. This is a world full of misery, right? So when you want to be free from this world and you want to not come back into this world in another birth, that is called liberation, or moksha means freedom. You become free from this world which is full of miseries. Here, when you're born, there is pain, as you grow old, there are so many different painful things which happen to you. Then there's diseases, then there's old age, which is so painful, and there's death, which is so painful. Moksha means you get liberation from this whole cycle of birth and death.
I have listened. I know this story. I have seen this on TV.
Yeah, I know you told me about it. Then the next after Putana, we learned about these two Rakshasas, Asuras, Shakata and Trinavarta. If you remember, Shakata is the cart. So there was a big function going on, and Devaki had put the baby there. Suddenly, one cart comes slowly moving. Actually, the cart was an Asura. Comes slowly moving, and just on top of Krishna, it's supposed to fall and burst, destroy Krishna. But Krishna is God and he knew what's happening. With a little, he was just kicking his little feet, and with a little touch of his gentle toes, the whole cart broke into pieces. And everybody was shocked. How come this happened? Like, how can a baby destroy a whole cart? And then they know that it's an asura. And again, Trinavarta is another asura who comes in the form of a big storm. And when Krishna is a small baby, Mother Yashoda is feeding him. Suddenly she feels that he's become so heavy. Why is Krishna becoming heavy? Because he knows that when Asura is going to, he knows everything, right? Krishna knows everything. He knows that when Asura is going to come in the form of a storm, and so he makes himself heavy so that mother will put him down and she will go into the house for some work. So she just, why is he so heavy? She puts him down for some time, and by the time the storm becomes huge and carries Krishna, what does Krishna do? Krishna just holds on tightly to the neck of Trinavarta so tightly that he suffocates and he dies and falls to the floor. So that is the third Asura whom Krishna kills. In the meantime, what happens? The naming ceremony happens in chapter 12, and we learn about different nice pranks which Krishna used to play, and all the gopis and Yashoda's neighbors, ladies, they used to come and complain, what, your son is stealing. And then they would suggest, you should, you're putting too many jewels for him. That's why it's shining. And even in the dark, he's able to come and steal all the butter. So then they don't know actually that Krishna is God. And so even if he doesn't wear all these big jewels, he will glow because he is Krishna. He is God. He's got a light around him all the time. So he doesn't need to wear jewels which shine for him, for there to be light around. And we have this story after this in chapter 14, the universe in Krishna's mouth, where Krishna, Yashoda, she asked Krishna to open the mouth when she thinks he has eaten mud, and she sees the whole universe inside his mouth. That is again just Krishna is trying to tell his mother that I am actually God. But Yashoda doesn't want to know. She wants to keep loving him as a small baby. And suddenly her head starts reeling, and then when she closes her eyes and opens it, Krishna is again like a small boy, normal boy, and she also forgets that she has seen the universal form. So a true devotee doesn't want to see the Lord's power because they just want to love the Lord as a person. That is called prem bhakti. You don't want to imagine the Lord as very powerful and mighty. You rather want to think of Krishna as a loving, the person who loves all of us. So then we have the sons of Kubera. Remember, those who attended that class, it's a very nice story. Then next month on 10th of October, this month actually, on 9th of October, Damodar month or Kartik month is beginning. It's a very special month. If you light one ghee lamp for Krishna, it's you will be able to burn sins of many births because it's a very special month. This is a month when the Damodar story happened. When Krishna, if you remember, Krishna was taking milk, and suddenly Yashoda, she runs away, and Krishna in anger drops all the milk around. And when Yashoda comes, she's very furious to see all milk and butter all over the floor, and then she wants to punish him. See, in this picture, she's running after him, and he will not allow her to catch her till she's tired. And then she will, if you want God, you have to run after him, and when you're tired, he will definitely give in. And then she tries to tie him. Every time she's tying, she couldn't even tie him because the rope would be small. Again, she will add one more rope. Still, it is not tying, because no one can tie Krishna. Krishna at last will feel poor. My mother is trying so hard. Let me, let her tie me. And then she allows him to tie him. So it says that with true love and you continuously strive for Krishna, he will even allow himself to be tried. That's that moral of the story. Then in chapter 16, here you can see in this picture how with that big oak tree, so that grinding stone is tied to his stomach, and how he crawls and the two trees fall, and those two trees were actually the sons of Kubera who became free, and they thank him that we had became trees because we were cursed, and now because you have dropped us, we are free, we can go back. And then we have the journey to Vrindavan. This is another story here, a little story in which someone comes and this lady comes, she wants to sell, and she asks, it's a barter system. Give me fruits, and you give me something, I'll give you fruits. So Krishna tries and searches everywhere, he can't find anything. At last, he finds